So yeah, we're on about attires. Honestly, attires aren't a big deal at the moment. You know, I say give Reigns more moves than just 5 moves.
Superman punch.
Yeah.
Spear again.
And then that move that he does on the outside with the
drop kick.
The drop kick thing. That's brilliant. But
brilliant
it's just
move, but it's just a variation on Chris Jericho's triangle drop kick.
Fair point. So this is why I've been wanting to get in touch with him. We've been both into wrestling for you've been into wrestling for most of our lives.
10 years at least.
Exactly. You know, we're both 16, nearly 17 in a couple of weeks. Just move my mouse because it looks like the mouse is on my nose, which is very annoying. So yeah, you know, Reigns doesn't deserve the title just yet. It'll be honestly, and like I say, this is why I want you to go check out people like JD and Joe Cronin, because the fact is they will tell you the exact same thing. JD more, because I've seen more of his videos. JD has said, and I agree, Reigns can physically beat Lesnar because that means that he's better than The Undertaker. And he's not.
Yet.
I can't see him ever being ever being better than The Undertaker when I get my teeth in.
But that's a never-ending topic.
Yes.
So, whether he can be better than The Undertaker is yet to be seen. But some people will argue yes, some people argue no. So
I've already had an argument. Well, not an argument, because he never responded. Or she. I think it was a he. I feel it was a he. But this person on Twitter was posting about how Reigns deserves the belt. He doesn't. He doesn't deserve the WWE title. He's came out, faced Orton. He got thrown into the main title picture way too soon. Now he's facing Orton in quite a cool feud, must be honest. But they're making Reigns just a Cena. They're making him stale. I'm getting sick of watching his 5 moves over and over again, week in, week out, because the fact is that Cena, he hasn't got many years left, so they need another face
to sell the merchandise.
Exactly, and because the WWE are too blind to see Bryan as their face and keep, pushing him away and all the rest of it. And granted, he's injured, but the fact he's going to come back is going to be better than ever. I've heard rumours that Kurt Angle is wanting to come back to wrestling. Now, again, I've heard this from other YouTubers. If you put Kurt Angle and Bryan at Mania, and maybe put that as Kurt Angle's retirement match, and then Kurt Angle puts over Bryan, then that's just going to push Bryan even more, and he deserves it. I mean, we saw the shitty year that he had last year, and I don't want to swear on this channel, but it felt like something that needed to be said. He had a really crap year. Really he got fucked. I mean, what would you think about if Angle came back to face Bryan?
I think it would work well. Submission moves would flow well together. And say Kurt Angle's moveset is slightly stale because on TNA, just before he became the manager, which he currently is right now, he tended to repeat a lot of moves over and over again, such as the Angle Slam, the German Suplex, the belly-to-belly suplex, and too many suplexes that you can't count. it would work well for WWE rather than TNA. See, we're getting on to TNA already. But I feel it would push Bryan, but I wouldn't feel that it would push him completely to success because he hasn't done as many years in the WWE as John Cena has. But if he can keep going into the future and avoid injuries like he has at the moment, I think it would work well.
See, you seem to be suggesting that we want to see Angle versus Cena, which, granted, that would be a cool match to watch, but and it probably will draw more money for the WWE because if you remember, all you guys that hopefully remember Cena's debut, he beat Angle, right?
In the debut, I think.
Yeah.
Or shortly after, anyway.
I know that
2002. God, time flies. 12 years ago.
We were only little guys then. You know, didn't really know much about wrestling back then. But, you know, there are so many options you could do with Angle. You could do Angle Cena. You could do Angle Triple H if you want to if Triple H feels the need to fight him. I mean, I probably will see that. I could see that happening. That's more
likely to happen.
Yeah, more likely to happen because Triple H is the one that's saying he doesn't want Angle in the WWE, which doesn't make sense to me. Really doesn't make sense to me. He's a known name. He's probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I'm putting it out there. He's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's up there with, he's up there. Undertaker.
Shawn Michaels.
If we could have seen Undertaker Angle, that could have been a great match. I mean, my WWE history's a bit rusty, and I would like to watch because I'm sure they have fought each other, but not at big stakes like WrestleMania or Royal Rumble. But I would like to go back and watch the Raw shows or SmackDown shows, and just because I bet they'll be awesome. What else should we talk about today then?
Well, in future videos we could compile a list of things such as that, greatest wrestlers of all time, but
I feel like we must move on because we've got a lot on. We've got a lot to talk about.
Moving on, we've talked about The Shield, we've talked about Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Next generation consoles. They're the next big thing. Or should I say, they are the next thing. They're here. They're already upon us.
That always makes it's very weird when I hear current gen because I always think of my Xbox 360 rather than my Xbox One because it's like, well, hang on, current gen is it just doesn't sit right. But then we were playing Watch Dogs before we made this video, and it's just the graphic quality is just amazing. And honestly, because this is a wrestling show, WWE, if it's going down the same lines of NBA, 2K are using face
scanning technology.
Exactly. Then WWE is going to be a great game. It's going to be so realistic. And I'm looking forward to the career.
Yeah, that'll be something good for the next video.
Yeah.
So, we'll end it there.
Well, shall we end it there? Because, I mean, we've got... I don't know how long we've done this. We've only done it...
15.
It's been 15 minutes. Yeah, we could do it. Because we were a bit pushed for time as today.
So we'll end it there, and we will bring you...
Let me just say, before we wrap it all up, due to schedules, Jake works. I'm hopefully going to be getting a job soon. We're both at college. We we'll probably be doing this just on the workload effort, bi-weekly or maybe even monthly, because should I say monthly? Because we don't see each other enough anyway. This is the first time we've seen each other twice, maybe 3 times over the summer, and we've had 3 months off. We don't see each other much, so we don't get time to really do these videos. Please, if you want to talk to us, if you want to talk to me, or if you want to ask Jake a question, if you want to ask JJ a question, please just follow me on Twitter. I will leave my wrestling only Twitter account down at the bottom in the description. Please, just all the best, and please go and check out Joker and JD from NYC. The guys are amazing. Alright, cheers everyone. Catch you later. Peace.